In this interesting episode, we are talking about two interesting things. Number one, Stuart Baxter OTA. Guys, Kaizer Chiefs was already a conspiracy around the fact that I needed to be fired and all the stuff. And when I had COVID-19, it began to be clear to me that these people don't want me, and there were a lot of things that were happening at Kaizer Chiefs. They were favoring Zwane, conspiring against me. Zwane 10-111 has hit back on Stuart Baxter, saying that Stuart Baxter exposed himself at Kaizer Chiefs. So you cannot go around and say whatever he wants because he exposed himself. Are you interested to know more about that? Then please stick around. To those that will stick around, guys, if you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Because to subscribe, it is free. To like the video, it is free. To comment in the comment section below, good people, it is free of charge. Good people, before we jump into the video, I've just released my first book. Guys, to those that would love to support me, please, guys, I'm going to leave my number. If you're interested, ask me in the comment section below. I'm going to leave my WhatsApp number. You will tell me when do you want the book, you pay, you give me a receipt, I send the book to you, get it on your pet store. This book talks about how I survived rape, how I survived 6 months without food. It gets into those details, guys. If you're interested, then please tell me in the comment section below. Now let's jump into what Stuart Baxter has got to say. Stuart Baxter has got this to say, speaking to SABC about the situation at Kaizer Chiefs. He says that I didn't really need a lot of time for reflection, Mazola. I think it was pretty much clear to me that what was going on after I had COVID around the mid-season break. I realized even before then that there were agendas within the club. He was talking to SABC. Those agendas were going to be satisfied whenever I liked it or not. There were going to be things going on in the background. Possibly not what I thought was the correct decision, but was going to be done anyway. Now I read the newspapers immediately that I had been sacked, which was not the case. Did I think I should have been given more time? I just realized that the agendas went open, saying, listen coach, it was the background all the time. Okay. We did talk about some of the players that wouldn't come in. We did speak about the young players. I read on the articles where the chairman said Stuart didn't play the young players, and it was in his contract. It wasn't in my contract. Certainly, he insisted. What was clear was that the Kaizer Chiefs didn't want me in the team, but didn't want me in the team that they were doing what they were doing now, buying 6 or 7 players every year, because that's the opposite of producing your own players. So what we wanted to do was produce our own players and then buy 1 or 2 special players with special requirement and skill set that will embellish the team. Now, I don't think that was ever mentioned to the public. I told everybody at the regular meetings why I was being patient with some of the young players, that patiently because I thought the older players, the Kick and Dolly, the Kamabiliad, were ahead of them in the picking order, but we will work actively to give them, the youngsters, minute and get them into the regular place, and the older players in a couple of seasons. Everybody was okay with that on the surface. Obviously not now, because the chairman finds it relevant to go out and accuse me of wanting to play the kids, which is not true. With Kaizer Junior, we butted heads very early, and I think he realized that it was around then all things had wanted to do were not going to be smooth. I wouldn't want to bring in players he didn't need. We discussed the way forward for the club, new tablet. We should stay, and who should stay and who should go. We didn't agree on a lot of things, and I think, without saying it, it was just becoming a mission for him to try to make the changes he needed to proceed with. Hey, I wasn't gonna give you a lot of these things, guys, but I thought it was very much important that you know what Stuart Baxter said. I just don't give you highlights, but I give you the depth of what Stuart Baxter said about Kaizer Chiefs and everything, how Kaizer Chiefs are unprofessional and all this stuff. But Mr. 111 at Zwane, the journalists have asked him, what's your take about what is going on? Because what Stuart Baxter said, it linked directly with what Zwane is doing. It is as if Zwane was appointed on favors and all this stuff. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was the case. I just don't know. All I'm saying is, the way it has been said here, it appears like Zwane was appointed on favors, you know. But then Zwane has got his own mouth, so he has spoken and has got this to say. Actually, and I'm gonna give you everything. Yeah. He says that after I had COVID-19 around the mid-season, sorry. That is what Stuart Baxter. Zwane strongly refuted the claims which detailing the selection process at the time. He says, I'm a little bit disappointed, but to be honest, I don't care. Usho Zwane. I don't care because we are all in the business of football. When I listened to him, Stuart Baxter, carefully, the problem started when he was sick. So if I am to break it down in how it started, it's simply and it actually exposing him. That weekend when we played against Sundowns, I was also sick. Then Coach Shepard contacted COVID-19. We then had the fixtures against Captain City. When you look at the starting 11, who almost young players played as well already had COVID-19 cases. Unfortunately, the following week that numbers increased. All right. When you have players who are much fitter than those who were sick, there were no way we could play players who are not ready to play for 90 minutes. We had to manage some, but at the same point, we were told by Stuart Baxter we have to play this one. How can anyone wants to say you have to play so and so who is not ready when you yourself are sitting at home sick? Then you come and say the team is going in another direction as we at Zwane and Shepard came in and changed things. No, no, those were the players who were available. Those were the players who were also fit and available for the previous games against Royal AM. Okay. Usho 10111. Yeah, it is Shubild. It is Shubild. Stuart Baxter against Zwane. Zwane against Stuart Baxter. Who's right, who's wrong? I don't know. You know, they say every family has their own secrets. So you can't just decide on the basis of who do you favor. You need to decide on the basis of evidence. So far, with the evidence provided here, I neither side with Zwane or Stuart Baxter. I'm just choosing to be in the middle because there are a lot of things that happens. You know, when you hear that somebody got fired today, rest assured, there were meetings before that. There are a lot of things that usually happen behind the scene that propel certain decisions that get manifested, and you get to comment on the decision, which the decision is a reflection of an outcome, not necessarily the process leading to the outcome. And that's what a lot of people, I would love you guys to be cautious of when you're commenting on the issues of Stuart Baxter versus Zwane. And you can comment on the basis of your emotions and who do you think you favor, but there are a lot of things that happens behind the scene. Now, am I therefore suggesting that Stuart Baxter is a good coach? Not at all, and I would never suggest that, especially a good coach in the context of a team like Kaizer Chiefs. His football guys was always suck, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, compared to the football that we are seeing right now, if you were to compare them based on that alone, there was always going to be a difference between the two, because Zwane believes in this type of football. Nigga, we call them nigga, you know what I'm saying? He even said it with his own mouth that Kaizer Chiefs are going to play with flair. You know, we will win the Kaizer Chiefs way of doing things. There's the players who are good in taking on players. There are players who are playing beautiful football. That's the style of football that Zwane wants. So if you were to compare them based on the style of football that these two coaches apply on the field of play, then Zwane comes on top. But I'm saying the process leading to the firing of Stuart Baxter, I cannot attempt to say Kaizer Chiefs was wrong or right or who was wrong, because I don't know really what happened. Because even what we are reading in the newspaper, it's not necessarily what happened. It's not fully what manifested behind the scene. So I'd love to respect that. That's my opinion about the situation. I know you've got your own opinion, and the only way for me to know what is in your mind is for you to get into the comment section below. Let that conversation begin right now, right here.